Hello, thanks for joining. Starting a few minutes early because something I like to do that I don't always talk about before warming up is a little bit of improvisation. So I just want to improvise for a few minutes, and something I encourage you to do. Doesn't have to be too fancy, nothing too complicated. Just, simple chords. Just noodling, you might call it noodling, yeah. Finding some nice, ideas or to sounds, just to get into a bit of a space. So I'm just improvising right now. Exploring this kind of E Phrygian kind of thing. Very Spanish. So we're going to warm up with double slurs and opposing motion. This is going to be a pretty intensive left hand warm up. All right, so I should put my timer on as normal. I'm going to do 30 minutes. I've got 30 minutes until I teach, actually. So 30 minutes set. All right, 30 minutes is on. Remember, timer, metronome. What are those essential things? Timer, metronome, and hopefully I can find it. This is the thing, you never want to lose track of your equipment, where your things are. Your nail buffer. What do we call it? This thing, nail buffer. Okay, so I try to do this pretty much at least once a day, but ideally first thing, pick up the guitar, and first thing, if I haven't played for a little while, I'll give them a quick polish. Okay. Check it on the first string. Okay. Not too bad. All right. So we're going to get right into it. Double slurs. I'll get my metronome ready. Double slurs means we're going to be hammering on and hammering off with two fingers instead of just one. So what it means is something like this. So see how I'm doing. It's not the prettiest sounding, music. that's the idea, okay? I'm double slurring. So we're going to go through this quite methodically. As usual, we're going to do adjacent fingers and then non-adjacent fingers. So starting with 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. So I'm starting on the 5th string and the 4th string at the 5th position, like this. Okay, so first finger is on fret 5, second finger is on fret 6, fret 5 of the 6th string and fret 6 of the 4th string, and then fingers 3 and 4 will go on the same string. So finger 3 on the 6th string at the 7th fret, finger 4 on the 8th fret of the 4th string. Okay, it's like one finger per fret. We're in the 5th position, one finger per fret. Okay, so what we do is okay, we're setting it at 60 beats per minute, and so I'm combining hammer-ons and hammer-offs, pull-ons and pull-offs together in triplet groups. I'm going to then expand. I went out to the 3rd string now, and now I'm going to go out to the 2nd, and then to the 1st, and then back in to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and you could even go to the 5th, like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing down a position. Oops. Okay, down a position again. If you're following along, if you're trying to do this yourself, you'll find you'll be getting probably already pretty tired. This is a very intensive left hand exercise. Definitely feeling a good workout here. First position. Okay, so that was 1 and 2. I'm going to 3 and 4. I'm going to do now 1 and 3. So this is non-adjacent. 1 and 3 going to 2 and 4, like this. Like that. Very tiring. And then 3rd. first. Very tiring. You know, a lot of guitarists will, I don't want to use the word complain, but a lot of guitarists will complain about their technique, right? Our technique can be such a hindrance to our musical idea, our musical vision of what we want to do. And, you know, we have ideas of what we want things to sound like. We hear great players all the time now. It's very easy to go online and hear great players. And then we wonder, like, oh, why are my fingers, you know, why do they not cooperate? Why are they not strong enough? Why do they not endure? Why are they not controlled? Why can't I control them? Why do they have a mind of their own? You're probably not doing enough technical work. That's really what. There's no shortcut. You can't just think, I want my fingers to have better technique. It just doesn't have. It's like wanting a great physique, you know, muscular and toned. You can't just think it, or you can't just watch information and no matter how good the information is, that information is not going to make you fit and toned and muscular. You need to do the work. You need to go to the gym, right? And this is like the guitarist's gym, these kinds of exercises. This is where you develop your endurance, your flexibility, your precision, your strength, your flexibility are in exercises like these. Sometimes they don't sound very pretty because they're not meant to. They're not like necessarily musical. So just wanted to say that. Okay. I think I've had enough of that type of exercise. I don't think I can handle any more double slurs, actually. That was very tiring. I can feel that one of the spots in your hand you might feel in your left hand that can develop when you do exercises like this is this muscle here above your thumb, this muscle here, and I think it's a good one to try and develop because I think a lot of power and endurance can come if we develop. I mean, obviously, we're going to develop the whole hand, every finger, you know, and everything being efficient and all that. But there is a muscle there. I don't know if you can even see that, but this is like pumped, right? Compared to my right hand, there's like no muscle there. It's completely flat. But there's a muscle here that's been made enlarged from this kind of exercise. So yeah, it's nice. You can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the strength, you know, from that exercise building up. So we'll move on to opposing motion now. We've got a good, you know, solid 20 minutes on this. We'll see. Maybe there'll be time for some other things. So opposing motion is where your fingers move. You know, you have a pair of fingers that move in opposite or contrary directions. So what I'm going to do here, again, this is sort of an adjacent and non-adjacent thing. I'm going to start with adjacent fingers. I'm going to fix in the 5th position. I'm going to fix 1 and 2 on the 3rd string, and then on the 4th and 2nd strings I have fingers 3 and 4. So finger 3 is on the 4th string, finger 4 is on the 2nd string, and then they're going to swap. That's the contrary motion. Then finger 3 will expand out to the 5th string, and then they'll both expand out to the 6th and the 1st strings. That's contrary motion or opposing motion. And I like to sometimes add that note. I like to pluck that note in the middle on the 3rd string. Okay, so 60, I'm going to go down to the 4th position, do that again. 3rd. Whoa, I'll try that again. notice my elbow movement. It's really important that when your fourth finger is playing on the first string, generally you want to bring your elbow up a little bit, and when your fourth finger is playing on the sixth string, generally you want to bring your elbow in or down. Okay, so this is a really good exercise for that. And down to the first position. Okay, then now we're going to fix 2 and 3. Same thing, fix 2 and 3 on the third string. 1 is on the fourth string, 4 is on the second string, and they're going to swap. Down position. Bit of dynamics, good. Still got that elbow movement. Alright, now fixing 3 and 4 and 2 and 1 are going to be opposing each other. So 1 on the fourth string, 2 on the second, and they'll swap around. Not the prettiest sounding exercise. I'll increase that middle note bit. Okay, that's the adjacent fingers done. Now I'm going to do non-adjacent. So 1 and 3, fixing on the third string. 2 and 4 will be moving now, opposing. So I might speed up the tempo a bit to about 80. So 1 and 3 fixed. Okay, fixing 2 and 4 now, so 1 and 3 will be moving, opposing each other. Okay, and the last one. 1 and 4 fixed, 2 and 3 will be opposing. The hardest one, I think, is this one. So, what's the deal with this exercise? There are a couple of things. One thing is that this really helps your finger independence because we've got fixed fingers. So whenever we're fixing fingers, fixing some fingers and moving others, it's a great exercise for your finger independence because the temptation is the natural order, the kind of the nature of our fingers is that they want to follow each other. They want to be codependent. So when one finger does something, the others want to follow. But in guitar playing, we want to actually, in some ways, we want to break that. Sometimes we want to encourage that. We will use that, to our advantage. But then other times we want full independence, meaning our fingers can move independently of each other. They're not codependent. They won't affect each other, basically. So that's one thing that these are really good for. Then contrary motion or opposing motion is a very difficult movement in guitar playing. I think it's because we're doing, with two fingers, with two fingers we're doing completely different actions with them at the same time. And so coordinating that with all of the different pairs of fingers can be a really great exercise to do. We also get a horizontal stretch. So we're stretching out, horizontally, we're stretching out across the fretboard. So we're developing that stretch across the fretboard as well. So lots of good things from that exercise there. We have a little bit of extra time. So what I might do, we did some double slurs, we did some opposing motion. What I might do is play a study now. Two of my favorite go-to studies are Villa-Lobos Etudes number 1 and number 2. I think I'll start with number 2, and I'll show you an approach I like to use when practicing this, which is to start the study at half speed. I'm going to go to 65 on the metronome, half, and then I'm going to double. Half, half, and then double, half, and so on. The half tempo really allows me to get the best that I can, like to get my best out of the passage, right? To best sound and most fluent and everything. So I usually won't move on to the double speed until I'm satisfied with the half speed. And then when I'm satisfied with the half speed, I will then double it and try to maintain whatever it is I'm happy about, if it's a dynamic shape or the tone or the movement, efficient movement or accuracy or all of the above. I'll try to maintain that for the double speed. So this one I was not happy with at half speed. So I'm gonna sit on it for a couple reps. Oops. Really important to think, if you find yourself having some errors, like I just did there, good thing to try and think about why. This is something you can observe that's causing the error. So with this, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but my pinky is very far away from where it needs to be. It's very far from the G. So what I want to aim to do is get it closer to that note. There we go. See? That's already better. Sorry, tangents after tangent comes, but I've found that one of the things that solves most problems, most challenges in guitar playing for the left hand is, can I find ways to increase the efficiency? Whether it's using a guide finger or a pivot finger, or hovering over the notes you're playing next, or keeping your fingers closer to the strings and to the frets. Finding ways of increasing the efficiency of your movements usually solves a lot of the issues you'll have in your playing. So with this one, see how I'm trying to stay close, and then when I shift, hey. You might be wondering, you might be watching, if you've been watching me for a little while now in this video, you might be thinking, this is pretty intense. He's been going like hard at it since the beginning, and it's kind of true. Sometimes some warm-ups might be a little bit more easygoing, and some will be a bit more intense. But what I want to get you to think about is, why not? Why not be like? Why not get that intense? It's again, I love the analogy of like exercising. You know, you could go for it. Sometimes you can go for a gentle walk, and that's fine. But you're probably not going to, in terms of like developing your fitness level and your, cardiovascular health and your muscular tone, like, many aspects of your health. If you just go for gentle strolls all the time, you're probably not going to do that. You'll develop. Obviously it's good for you to do that, but you're not going to get like toned and muscular from that. There are times where you need to go intense. You need to have some intensity, and especially if you're developing, you want to develop. You want to take your playing to new heights, develop new skills, learn how to play faster, learn how to play longer. You can't just be gentle all the time. Like, you can't go gentle. You have to put the foot. It's like when you're driving. You got to put your foot on the gap, put your foot on the pedal sometimes, right, and drive faster. And then sometimes, take it off, back off a little bit, and that's fine. That's what I like about this kind of way of practicing, is that starting at half, and then doubling. And it's a pretty intense, 20 minutes. It's almost done. 30 minutes, I should say. Feels like 20. Feels like it's gone really fast. I'm not super happy with a lot of these arpeggios. Something I've come to learn after time is that during the warm-up, we're warming up, and we can't expect our best, our most fluent, effortless playing. Sometimes our warm-up involves a bit of struggle and a bit of tightness, and we have to kind of like get rid of those cobwebs, and it takes a bit of time, and you'll find that you go through a bit of that struggle, and then when you start to play a couple of pieces, you're warmed up, and it's so effortless. It's so much easier than it would have been if you hadn't gone through the warm-up. So, well, I think we've got about a minute and a bit left on my timer here. What I might do is run through Villa-Lobos Etude number 1, and this one I'm just going to do straight rhythm, 130. Trying to focus on the echo. Loud, soft. Loud, soft. Loud, soft. There's the time. I'll just finish the study. Warm-up is done, and I'm almost literally sweating from that one. Hope you enjoyed that warm-up, and take it easy when you warm up, but make sure you do warm up. Really important to do so. Let me know in the comments if you've got any exercises or that you want me to cover, or techniques, or if you have any questions. And yeah, feel free to come join us on the Creative Classical Guitarist. We've got master classes, we've got plenty of resources where we dive deep into technique and practicing and topics like that. So if you want to join us on the Creative Classical Guitarist, it's a wonderful community. It's basically an online school for guitar and covers a whole range of different topics, from technique to composing to sight reading to improvising and more. So anyway, hope to see you next time. Thanks for joining.